From their athleticism and competitiveness, motherhood to the push for social justice and change, the women in the W never cease to amaze, and we've got you covered from courtside to the outside. This is the Hardwood 94. Let's tip off. Welcome to the Hardwood 94. I'm your host, Jackie Ray. Now, sometimes I wish I could wave a magic wand and make a few things that are unnecessarily difficult easier for WNBA fans. Because even as we see the numbers rise across the league, there is still a disconnect when it comes to the marketing and accessibility of the WNBA. If you are trying to find your favorite team on television, the WNBA League Pass, or any other streaming platform, I salute you because I know the work you put in just to be a fan. The good news is with these NIL deals, you have a much easier time following your favorite NCAA player. And we've talked about the disconnect between college and the W before, but journalist and host Jonquel Jones had an interesting take on where he feels the disconnect is coming from.
But what you describe is very similar to what women's basketball players are talking about in many cases. There is a lot more bread for them sticking around in college than there is to go to the WNBA. Now, the difference there is no brand loyalty and identity to the teams in the WNBA. Therefore, there's not a reason for people to pay attention. So the money's not going to be there. Like until there becomes a WNBA team that somebody cares about. Then
I do with UConn.
Like you're not gonna have that. Like the NCAA is a brand. The WNBA is a brand that just doesn't match up. I think that's a big part of what the situation is.
I do not like that take at all, probably because it's true and the truth just really hurts. And it seems like a no-brainer. It's something that needs to be fixed. I have my own take on that, so make sure you stay with us. But coming up, my exclusive conversation with New York Liberty's Jonquel Jones. Stay tuned.
Somebody went me to the fair. Well, that lady pinned in her hair. For all of these simple things, a flower is born. If she looks within, she finds beauty and power.
My name's Chelsea Gray, and you're watching Hardwood 94.
Welcome back to the Hardwood 94. We are your go-to for getting to know players and coaches no matter who they are. The New York Liberty are currently in second place in the WNBA standings, and they are doing their best to hold on to that spot. I had a chance to catch up with Jonquel Jones, who's in her first year with the team. The half-court shot I saw you do, it kind of looked like a bowling shot. Can you bowl at all?
I can, but I'm very hit or miss. Like some games I can go out there and I can bowl 5 strikes in a row, and then sometimes it's 5 gutter balls in a row. So you just never know.
How has playing soccer helped you in this game?
Oh man, footwork for sure. Footwork in the post. Definitely that. I think I had a lot of guard skills and stuff growing up, and playing a lot of other sports has kind of helped me just be a better professional.
I saw you said that Tony Rock recognized you from the State Farm commercial, but you didn't really know who he was. When did you recognize him immediately?
No, I know who he is, but I just didn't
know for sure.
I think New York is still kind of new to me, of just being able to walk down the street and just run into celebrities so regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just don't ever think that somebody is. You see somebody on TV and you just don't think you'll ever meet them in person. So once he said who he was, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so silly now. But it was amazing to just have that kind of experience. And there's been a few other experiences like that in New York.
Now, before we started, I asked you what your good size was. You basically said all your sides are good. Does that mean we can count on you acting some more in the future?
Look, honestly, if I get the opportunity, I really do feel like I have a little bit of acting chops and I can do something. So I would love to take advantage of that moving forward.
Okay, here's a fun one. Okay, so the whole squad goes out. So who's the first one to hit the dance floor, the first one to take a shot, and the one who's going to sit and watch the purses?
Okay. Sit and watch the purses. I'm gonna say Joss or I would say Sloot. Those are sit and watch the purses, just chill, have a drink. First one to hit the dance floor, I would say between Benijah and KT, and depending on the night, maybe me.
Okay.
And what was the other one?
Okay, so we did take a shot.
Take a shot. First to take a shot.
Not many drinkers on the team?
No, not really. But maybe me or Benijah. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, now you recently got engaged, so for all the single folks out there, we need some advice. What is some strong advice for dating and long-term commitment and how you get over like those humps and those bumps in the road?
Yeah, I think in dating is to just put yourself out there, not take it too seriously, just have conversations with people and take the time to really just understand what it is that you're looking for and what it is you want in the future, your wants and your dislikes too, because that helps you as well. I think in choosing your person, just make sure you find somebody that's going to be willing to fight for your relationship because it's not easy. Like a lot of people see marriage and they think about it being like the happy ending, but marriage is a lot of work. Relationships are a lot of work. And the last thing you want to do is go all in for somebody that isn't going all in for you. And so I think that's the beauty of my relationship and having my partner is just, she's willing to do the work and we're willing to do it together. And every day we face new challenges, but we know that we're going to be okay because we choose each other every time.
Okay, one more question. If you could own a team in any professional sports, what team would you want to own?
Ooh, in any professional sports?
Any professional sport.
I'd probably say the Miami Heat. I think, the Miami Heat. Close to my family in the Bahamas. Miami is an amazing city. I could kind of go home if I wanted to, but also be there. And, I kind of grew up watching the Miami because my brother was a big Heat fan. When I was a Pistons fan, so I used to go at it a lot when, back 08, 09, 07, when it was like Heat and Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals all the time. So, I'd say the Heat.
Do you think Damian Lillard should get his wish?
I think he should. He should. He's been so loyal to the Trailblazers and their organization for such a long time. So for him to decide that he wants to move on and try to chase a championship, I think he should.
Jonquel was so much fun. I am glad I was able to really connect with her, and I hope you all at home were able to do the same. It's definitely going to be a dogfight for that second and third seed down the stretch between the Liberty and the Connecticut Sun, but that fight is going to make for must-see TV. Stay tuned because we have the Players of the Week, and you will not want to miss this week's Jackie Ray What You Say.
Greatest football player of all time.
Best football player of all time.
What did Mahomes have to say?
Is this a trick question?
They're not talking about you, Patrick.
Let's be honest. The game you play
shouldn't even be called football.
Why are there basketball players in this commercial?
Oh, I can play football.
There's football.
And then there's football.
Or football.
Football?
It takes equal parts.
Power.
Poise.
Finesse.
They play on a bigger stage
than any of us.
We're back on the Hardwood 94, and of course, a big congratulations to the WNBA Players of the Week. That include the Liberty's Breanna Stewart, who averaged 25.8 points per game and 8.5 rebounds, and yes, the point god herself, Las Vegas Aces guard Chelsea Gray, who averaged 24.5 points per game with 8.5 assists. Congrats to both of these ladies, and y'all, please keep shining. And now it's time for Jackie Ray What You Say. I'm going to try my best to be as nice as possible on this one because I might be a little annoyed deep down inside, but I need everyone to stop comparing the WNBA to the NBA, especially if you're not going to follow their journey. Do you know where the NBA was right about now in their lifespan in the 25, 26, 27-year mark? It wasn't a good spot. But they realized that, and this is back when media wasn't what it is now. This is when those newspaper journalists who had the notepads and the typewriters, they were still a thing. But they still recognized the power of journalism. So you know what they did? Oftentimes they paid those beat writers to travel with them so they could get access to the team, so they could tell stories about the players so fans could connect to the players. That's very important because if y'all didn't know this, I am a diehard LeBron James fan. I go where LeBron goes. I don't have a team affiliation per se. I have a player affiliation. Especially in the NBA, that's important because now players are moving around, but it also builds the brand. When you build the person, you build the brand. It's very, very important to have these relationships with media. It's incredibly difficult as a journalist to tell some of these stories of these WNBA players, even though I personally think they are all amazing. But let's recap. Last year, we could get these interviews with players and coaches before the game. Do you know why that's important? Do you want to talk to me after you got the brakes beat off of you? Or if you've been beaten for the 9th time in a row? You do not want to talk to me about who's taking what shot, who's holding the purses. You don't want to talk to me about anything like that because you're in an upset mood, to say it nicely. And that's understandable. But now, not only do we not have access to the players before the game, making these appointments to actually get these accesses and these interviews and have people return your email, it is an uphill battle. And I don't really understand why that is, because they need us. The WNBA needs people to have the fandom of the players. I hate to say it, but Bomani is absolutely right. There's no team outside of maybe the Las Vegas Aces that people really care about. And you need to tell these stories behind the scene. You need to have NCAA players come into the league and their stories be told about. How are they adjusting? How are they growing? What is their hardships? What are the things that are throwing them off? Because that's going to build that brand loyalty. You never even know. You might have somebody go past this and say, oh, you know what? I didn't know that about Jonquel. I think I want to start watching her. It is so vital. And if you are not going to follow the actual the blueprint is there, y'all. If you're not going to follow it, please stop saying, oh, you know what? It's not equitable. We're not at the same place, because you're not even doing the same things. It's a building. It's a process. And right now, the W is still reliant on the NBA. If you want to be solvent, the path is laid out for you. The first step, be kinder to your journalists, especially the PR people. Now, I'm not going to absolve the WNBA for changing that rule. They definitely need to change it back. But come on, teamwork makes the dream work, y'all. Let's get it together, okay? That's all I got to say about Jackie Ray What You Say. And that's our show. But before we go, I definitely want to shout out Diana Taurasi. She is 18 points away from hitting that 10,000 point mark. I love DT, so shout out to her and congratulations. Once again, I'm Jackie Ray. The game's over, and we'll see you next time on the Hardwood 94.